And this one is a cooperative narrative campaign game set in the world of Black Rose Wars back in the 1500s. And if you're not familiar with Black Rose Wars, that is another very popular series of games offered by Ludus Magnus Studio. And this is going to continue to build out that world, but in this game, players are going to be playing as asymmetrical characters, all designed to complement each other in different ways so that each character will work better in certain scenarios than others. Each player has their own personal player board that they're going to be using to track the different things like their number of actions and their health and their stats, as well as their own special ability. And this is a game that doesn't have any particular player order. Any player can take actions in any order. You can just do whatever you think is most beneficial to your party. But like I said, this is a campaign game and players are going to be playing through a campaign booklet, going through the different scenarios that could have different outcomes depending on the successes, failures, or decisions that the players make. And this all takes place in a world where religions and cults and rival factions have the majority of control over the world, and they may or may not be working together or against each other amongst themselves. Depending on the scenario, players are going to be setting up the main board with various tiles and tokens, and then players are going to be using actions in order to move about those tiles, flipping them over by exploring them, and then also resolving any effects or points of interest that they choose to interact with on those tiles. Each scenario also comes with a scenario deck, and anytime that you see a particular icon on a tile that's revealed, you're going to be drawing one of the cards from that deck, which can cause different events or reveal different side quests or progressions in the story, but it can also add more enemies onto the map because there's going to be a bunch of different cards mixed into this deck. If you do find yourself face to face with an enemy, battle in this game is resolved by using dice rolling, where you're going to be rolling 2 dice for your hero and then 2 dice for the enemy. Of course, there's a bunch of different abilities and effects that each enemy can have, and also the players will have different items and gear and abilities that they'll be able to take advantage as well in order to augment the results of their dice. But players essentially continue like this until all of the players have passed. Then we move into the enemies phase, where they're going to be moving and attacking any of the players that they're able to, and then you're going to resolve any end of round effects or events that might be in play for that particular scenario. And then the player's action tokens will refresh along with any start of round effects. And then the game continues like this until players are able to fulfill the requirements of that scenario. And if they're able to do that, then they can move on to the next chapter in the game. If you are interested to learn more about this one, I will have it linked in the description down below.